and welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Penny and this is Penny's Coding Bits. This channel is dedicated to bring you weekly bite-sized videos with practical solutions for your everyday data analytical challenges. And this video is going to walk you through the process of me creating a custom GPT in ChatGPT based on my past blogs on Penny's Coding Bits on Substack. And I have organized the machine learning models as well as some other data analytical techniques in my blogs into one Word file. And that is organized into their descriptions and their uses. So the first page is models, and the second page is other data techniques that complements the machine learning models. And I have copy and pasted all of the contents of my past blogs into this Word document. So some of you may recognize some of these contents in the past. So this is going to help me to create my custom GPT so that we can make my blog functional for those who are looking for specific information from the contents of my blogs. So to create a custom GPT in ChatGPT, we need to go to the Explore GPTs button in ChatGPT and hit create. And so the first thing that it's going to ask me is what kind of GPT I would like to create. So I have written up a paragraph that explains what kind of GPT I'm looking for. So I'm just going to paste that here and hit enter. And it's going to think about that for a moment. And we will be getting ready to fine-tune based on this general description. I would like to emphasize ML stands for machine learning, because it could stand for other things, just to make it more clear in the GPT library. Okay, so now I have a GPT that's called Machine Learning Selector. So I'm okay with that. And I would like to tailor the profile picture to represent more of machine learning model selection, because this is kind of generic as it looks right now. So let's try that. So that looks okay to me. So I will say I like it. And now it's asking me what kind of question or task do you expect the user to come to the machine learning selector with? So I would like to say I expect the user to come to machine learning selector to have a straight answer to the kind of model that fits their need. And how detailed should the explanation be? So I am going to import my model summary into the GPT. So I'll say I am expecting a detailed answer as well as code demonstrations based on the knowledge document I have uploaded in the Configure tab. Now it's looking for what kind of language the model selector should use. So I'll say the machine learning selector can be informal in its language, but it must be precise and accurate in its responses. So the reason for these custom GPTs is that they can provide more pinpointed answers to the user so that you don't have to ask the same question many times to get to the right answer. And the reason you come to a GPT to ask for a specific question is because you don't know the answer. So it has to be straight to the point to answer your question with a high degree of accuracy on the first instance of you asking the question, instead of you guessing around and asking a bunch of questions to get to your more or less right answer. So accuracy is very important in here. Okay, so now we are done in the Create tab, and a lot of these information fields are completed for us in the Configure tab. And there are a few things that we need to tweak in here. So first of all, I don't need DALL-E because this is a code-based GPT, but I do need the code interpreter in here. And I also need to upload my models file. So I'll say I'll upload file and select my models Word document. So now that this GPT is customized with all of the knowledge that I had written about in my blog in the past, there is one more thing that I would like to show you in here, and that is integrating custom GPTs with external apps that we already use. And that is through the Create New Action button on the Configure tab. And for many of the developers on the market right now, Zapier is a popular platform for integrating GPTs with external apps. And you can see on my screen some of the examples that people use to integrate with these apps. So all you have to do is to go to this link right here and copy this URL that's on my screen in blue into this import from URL field and hit import. And all of these code will be instructing OpenAI to accomplish a specific task that you would like it to do for you. But in our case, because this app is entirely for the public, so I am going to get out of here and get back to my GPT. So once I update based on my Word document, I would like to test this out. And I am just going to start with one of the conversation starters and see what it says. Okay, so that's a nice and short explanation for models used for anomaly detection. So let's check this against my Word document that I have integrated into this GPT. So it says For anomaly detection, isolation forest and local outlier factor are recommended models. Isolation forest is effective for identifying anomalies by isolating observations. So in my Word document, I said it's an algorithm for anomaly detection that isolates observations by randomly selecting a feature and then randomly selecting a split value between the max and the min values of the selected feature. So it goes into a bit more depth than what the bot says. And it says it's particularly suitable for datasets with a mix of normal and anomalous points, such as fraud detection scenarios. So I said it's for detecting anomalies or outliers in the data, like fraud detection. So it's rewording my sentences in my Word document, but it's essentially conveying the same meaning. And for local outlier factor, it says it assigns an anomaly score based on the density of the surrounding area, making it effective in datasets with varying density clusters. So, in my Word document, I said local outlier factor assigns anomaly score for each data point based on its deviation from its neighbors through quantifying the local density of data points. Higher local outlier factor scores indicate a higher likelihood of being an outlier. So again, it's leaving out some small details, but it's keeping the basic point in check by saying it's assigning an anomaly score based on the density of surrounding areas, whereas I said quantifying the local density of data points. And in the end, it says both models have their strength in different anomaly detection contexts. So I am just going to ask a follow up question by saying, could you show a code example for the first model, isolation forest? And I am going to compare this to the code that I have written in my blog with. In my case, I used the random normal for amounts and random choice for the type of transaction and date range for the dates, whereas the chatbot just used random rand to generate 100 samples of two features, which is fine. And it used classification equal isolation forest with random state 42 to define the model, which is all right as well. I have named the model here instead of classification, and it fitted the model and made a prediction with the model. So this is a simplified version from the one that I used originally in my blog. So I would give this an 80% given that this is a simplified example of isolation forest. But do let me know how your experience is when using this chatbot. I'll see you in the next video.